Vegas, Nevada, a city where we've grown accustomed to expecting
What was that guy's, what did he call himself?
The fan man.
That's right. He had a fan that was powering his parachute, and he literally landed in the ring. That was in an outdoor arena in Vegas. Is that what it was?
Well, it sure was. And it made and held the fight up about 30 minutes.
That was crazy.
Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's get ready to rumble!
The sport of boxing is often known for its athleticism, unpredictability, skill, toughness, and its sheer brutality. But since the beginning of time, boxing and fighting sports are often remembered for their theatricality, providing some of the most entertaining moments of the sporting world. In this video, we will take a look at the moment James "Fan Man" Miller crashed his paramotor into the rematch between Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield in 1993. Evander Holyfield had lost his titles to Bowe the previous year and was out to avenge them, and he was comfortably in the lead at the halfway point in the fight, on his way to finally gaining the recognition that had eluded him throughout his early career spent in Mike Tyson's shadow throughout the 1990s. Then out of nowhere, the skies parted and all hell broke loose.
Someone is and somebody in a parachute had just landed on the edge of the ring, has been pulled, has been brought to a halt. There's a massive melee at ringside.
Pandemonium erupted at ringside as security hurried to neutralize what they perceived to be a significant threat. Many others panicked, thinking the man was a terrorist carrying a bomb or a hitman targeting political personalities in the audience.
His body landed on the ring apron right on top of a variety of people.
This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen at a prize fight, and I've seen it.
As a result, the reaction was absolute chaos. Bowe's team security was the first to apprehend Miller and simply punched him senseless. It was a stroke of luck that the crazy pilot was so experienced, as he directed his vehicle directly onto the ring ropes rather than colliding with any spectators, saving many lives.
Tried to alert us to the possibility that this was going to happen. He was zooming in and out, as you can see here. And there it is. He targeted the ring and wound up in the Slammer in Vegas tonight, and with doggone good reason.
What charges, I wonder? What charges? Yeah. Doing an outrageous thing to get some publicity for himself.
Oh, okay. Lighting company turning off. That it happened at a time when he was in such good position in the fight, or so it seemed.
After 21 minutes, the lights were turned off. A brutally beaten Miller was brought to the hospital, and the fight was ready to restart. The two fighters would subsequently quarrel over who profited most from the break. Many believed it was Bowe, who came in overweight for the fight, who had an advantage due to the rest.
Well, I think it really slowed down the pace. The whole thing is that I thought I had him tired at the time. He was breathing hard, and I was able to lead off. He wasn't getting off with the jab. He was bleeding a lot. And so, but what happened is that, when I came back to the corner, I was getting stiff in my back too. But I felt that he was getting tired, and I was getting ready to pour it on.
The 7th round. What you saw, when you saw it, and how did it affect you? How did that long delay affect the fight?
Well, I got cold somewhat, and I felt like at that point, I had to, it was in my favor. And by the 6th round being stopped and what have you, I had the opportunity to get so cold, and I guess Evander Holyfield took advantage of it, and he came out.
It was Evander Holyfield who was recrowned champion by the slimmest of margins, winning by a total of 1 round via a majority decision. If the official who scored the 7th for Holyfield had instead given it to Bowe, the fight would have been a draw, with the champion retaining his titles. As a result, Fan Man not only disrupted, but also transformed boxing history.
Patricia Jarman scores the bout 115 to 114. Jerry Roth scores it 115 to 113 for the winner by majority decision. And once again, heavyweight champion of the world from Atlanta, Georgia,
Evander, none of us have ever seen anything like that 7th round. I know you haven't. What exactly did you see when the parachutist almost got into the ring?
Well, I'm telling you, when the guy came in with the parachute, I thought somebody was jumping over the rope getting ready to do something. I'm getting ready to run out the ring myself.
Miller was later released from the hospital and charged with reckless flying. He ultimately pled guilty to misdemeanor trespassing and was sentenced to 8 days in jail. Fan Man grabbed international headlines and became an overnight superstar. He was later reproduced in an episode of The Simpsons during the show's popular height.
Simpson's manager has flown into the ring and is airlifting him out. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever dignity remained in boxing is literally flying out the window.
Regardless, Miller never fully disclosed his motivations. Following the bout, Miller gave a brief and odd press conference. He offered a few short responses, oddly claimed the whole event was an accident, and then powered up his paramotor and flew off in the direction of the mountains, leaving reporters perplexed. Miller later modified his narrative about the incident being an accident, saying he crashed the event because he disliked violence and wanted to stop the two boxers fighting. In a heartbreaking end to the curious case of the Fan Man, after taking the skies to the remote town of Valdez, Alaska, Miller later took his own life as he was suffering from a serious debilitating health issue due to complications from heart surgery. And instead of being a burden to his family, Miller sadly chose to take his own life in the Alaskan wilderness. Because of the remoteness of the location, authorities believe Miller's remains may never have been discovered. This devastatingly mysterious finale unfortunately casts an eye over the tragic fate of a misunderstood Miller. Regardless of his untimely end, James Fan Man Miller's impact on boxing will live on as he offered one of the sport's purest moments of beautiful insanity. And if you enjoyed that video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel for more boxing content.